And alright, guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Edutainment Corner. This is a podcast where you can hear about the world from your average teenager's perspective, hopefully interesting for both Zoomers and Boomers. I'm Nicolas Combe, and here with me today is the absolutely wicked Wayne Linquist. How are you, man?
I'm doing okay.
That's good to
Doing
hear.
alright. Um, hmm. I don't. Let's get into life updates. How are you
Yes.
doing?
I've had a super good week, dude. I made my first $70. Um,
But
I know. So the lawn care business got the first call, and I got a second call actually. The people I worked for referred me to someone new, which means I'm hopefully gonna have another job. I'm gonna go inspect that
okay.
tomorrow. But I went to some really nice old folks, and they had me doing like a big rock creek and redoing all the rocks there. It was actually super cool, and they tipped me 20. I was gonna charge them 50. They gave me 70. So um,
How'd you think you do? Or how'd you think you did?
uh, okay. They called my dad
Yeah.
to tell him that he was raising a good son. So I feel like I did a good job.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
So I'm very happy about that. I think the thing that I'm maybe the most worried about is it was just like a one time thing, so not a repeat customer.
Yeah.
But dude, okay, it feels so good to make money. Like so it's the combination.
Whoa.
I can drive by myself now, right? So that means I can go.
Oh.
Uh huh.
Does this mean you passed?
Yeah, I did pass. Oh, I didn't tell you about that. That's right, I passed.
You never told me about that.
I
Oh my
can't. Oh, I
God.
thought you knew.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I'm so happy. Um.
Thinking about that.
Yeah.
Um, I just recently, I think like a couple days ago, you know how you get like a paper copy of your license?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got the actual like laminated
card.
copy. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, I still have my paper one, but that's awesome.
Hmm. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
But yeah,
Driving by yourself.
I don't know how to explain it. It's such a really cool feeling. It's like
I was
being
gonna say,
independent.
have you driven?
I have by myself. I went as soon as I had my $70, like the next day, I went to the store and I bought chocolate chips and gum just because I could.
Nice.
I'm gonna save like most of what I earn for now, but
Yeah.
it's just something about it. It's like I I don't know how to explain it. I made the money by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I drove by myself. I earned the money by myself by doing work by myself to buy things at the store that I drove to by myself with the money that I earned. It's so independent. It's such an independent feeling. I love it so much.
And uh, well, anything else other than that?
That's pretty much what has been up for me this week. What about you, dude?
Um, it's hard to think, man. This week's been kind of boring, but like I said, I did get my actual copy, my
Awesome.
license. I've been driving everywhere.
Yep. You been anywhere cool this week?
Uh, no, not really. Except if you count last Saturday
Okay.
or Saturday,
Yeah.
um, I went to a gender reveal for my sister-in-law,
Ooh.
and we did like the little like powder cannons.
Uh huh.
I had to do one, and it was a girl.
Awesome.
I got the wind blew as soon in my direction as soon as I set the cannon off, so I had like a bunch of pink powder all over myself. It was not good, but I'm excited for her.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to Cincinnati
Ooh.
again.
Again. Cool.
Yep, for from Saturday or Friday morning, technically, is when we're leaving, to about Monday, or we're gonna be leaving like Tuesday morning.
Okay. Okay. So that's this coming weekend.
Yeah,
You have to let me know how that goes. That's gonna be exciting to hear about.
bring in my brother.
How old's he?
He is actually a lot older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's turning 40 in February.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he's
That's
old.
awesome. Do you want to get into the pod, dude?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Absolutely.
So I don't know about you, but I am in the mood for wildlife. There's some really cool scientists discovered this really interesting beetle. So you know how some beetles walk on top of water, like they have the surface tension and their legs like water striders and those kind of beetles, right?
Yeah.
And they skate and there's a beetle they found that does this, but on the underside of the water. So it's like the interface between the air and the water. They're upside down and they walk
They're
like that.
upside down in the water?
Yeah. So their body's in the water and they walk on the air.
No way.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, if you saw this from a perspective of like us, you'd think the beetle's dead.
Yeah.
Because it's upside down.
Exactly. I
But
think
they're
they thought it
actually
was dead at
alive.
first too. Yeah.
And you're just walking. That's
Exactly.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So I think this was a known thing by a couple of people for a long time, but it was never like actually documented. So a lot of people, it's kind of hard to prove if it's like, dude, I saw a beetle do this one time, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's
this is
like,
the first
oh,
time
no.
I actually have video of it, which is it's
Ooh.
cool. I don't think we
Yeah.
can play it though, because copyright for this.
Yeah. But we'll link it down in the description.
Absolutely, we will. It's like 14 seconds long, and it's really weird. It walks rather than gliding. It's really interesting.
You should
I think-
send me the video after the podcast.
I will. I sure will. I think the way they figured out that it works, so that it almost traps a bubble between its belly and the air. So it's like sitting on the bubble upside down as the bubble's sitting on the surface of the water, and then it wraps its legs around that and kind of walks from there. It's really interesting.
That's so weird. Just
Yeah.
imagine encountering those beetles. You're like walking, and
Yeah.
you just see a beetle upside down in the water, just chilling.
It's really, really weird. And it walks.
It what?
It walks.
It
Like-
walks.
You see the little legs moving. It almost looks like it's trying to swim upside down, but it's walking. It's really interesting.
That would make it even look like it's more like it's
more
dying.
dead. Yeah.
It's not even just sitting there. It's actively struggling.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll
that
link
is-
the video down in the description, guys. You guys need to check it out. Did you know, this is actually something I learned. Did you know that beetles are the largest order of organisms, or at least of animals, on Earth?
What do you mean by that?
So as in, there's more beetle species than there are fish species. Or not necessarily fish species, but like
Oh.
within an order of something, if that makes sense.
To be honest with you, I'm not that surprised by that. I
Really?
remember reading something about, there's so many different species of beetles.
Yeah.
I never knew that until then. That there's only like a couple beetles, but there's so many.
Well, think like ladybugs are beetles, right?
Yeah.
That means there's also those like dung beetles and the ones with the horns.
Oh, dude, I hate beetles.
Really?
Yep, like, same with like roly-polies.
You hate roly-polies?
I hate roly-polies, dude.
Why?
I hate bugs in general. I hate ants. Like, it's just, I don't know why. I just have an irrational fear for any insect. Like, okay, even butterflies.
You don't like
Like-
butterflies?
I don't like butterflies just because, it feels so weird to have, like, if you have one on, like, your finger, just imagine, like, all those little legs just
What about
moving in
bees?
there. No,
No, not bees. Really?
No,
They're so
not
cute.
bees. No, yeah, but they also have a stinger on them.
They're not gonna sting you.
Whatever. They still. I don't.
For me, spiders are
I
creepy.
don't mess with. Oh, dude, spiders are even worse. If I see a spider,
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna try to kill it. I'm gonna have my dad. I'm gonna have my dad come and kill it for me because I don't want spider guts flying towards me.
Yeah. No, so I don't like spiders, but most bugs are kind of cool. They're like, I don't like flies. Flies are disgusting.
Hate flies.
But like bees, they're cute, and ants are cool because they generally don't bite you unless you're like disturbing their nest, so you can kind of pick them up and just watch them crawl around on your hand. What about ladybugs?
Okay, so during the summertime, I've actually seen a couple in the
Okay.
last week.
Yeah.
There are these. It's a beetle,
Yeah.
but it looks like a ladybug. But
Oh,
instead of it being like red, right?
uh-huh.
Like normal, it's more of like a yellowish
Orange, right?
orangish.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen those. I think aren't those like Asian beetles or something? Is that what they're called?
I don't remember, but I hate them. I hate them so much.
Yeah. Or Asian lady beetle is what they're called.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of those before. We have those around our house.
Hate those.
Yeah, they're weird. But I like ladybugs. They eat aphids. Uh-oh, train.
Ah! They're aggressive and sometimes bite.
You've been bitten by a ladybug. Uh-oh, I hope they can't hear the train. We'll see.
Oh, well, still. Yeah, they bite. And you know what? I'm reading into this now. They. Reading this makes me hate them even more.
What are you reading right now?
They're harmful to dogs.
Why are they hard? Do they bite dogs?
Yep.
Oh, man.
They invade homes, right?
Okay.
That's why we've seen them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they leave behind an odor/yellow fluid.
Oh, is that like the weird potatoey smell?
Yes, dude. I hate
Yeah,
those
I don't
things. I
like that.
hate
Yeah.
them so much.
But those aren't ladybugs, are they? Or are they actually what ladybugs are?
I think they're just beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Ladybugs are harmless,
Okay.
control garden pests,
Yeah, like aphids.
live outdoors, and are good for the environment. Asian lady beetle is like evil version of a ladybug.
Uh we have
Hate 'em.
sometimes like I see stink bugs. Those little
Oh,
like they're I think those are also beetles, I think. Um
stink bugs. It's
they might,
like,
yeah. But whatever they are, they're like, when you squish them and then they have that disgusting smell?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Those are horrible.
yeah. Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, what?
Oh, stink bugs infest tomato plants and destroy fruit.
Huh. Oh, that's what happened? I'm curious if to our tomatoes. Like we in our old house we used to have a bunch of tomatoes and there were
Mhm.
always these weird beetle things that would eat them, and I think that they probably weren't
Those
stink
have to
bugs,
be
but they were
stink
probably
bugs.
similar. They were similar to stink bugs. They were I don't think they were stink bugs, but I'm sure they were very similar.
Interesting. Wow. We
It's
kind of
like
got off on a beetle tangent.
yeah. Well, I'm really interested. Like some bugs are cool to me, some bugs aren't. Like I can't believe you don't like butterflies.
Yeah, I don't like bugs. I don't like little things with legs.
What about praying mantises? Those aren't little.
Still, I
Praying
don't.
mantises are actually freaky though.
Anything that crawls.
Dude, I once.
That's including babies.
Whoa, oh.
Yeah, sorry, had to get that out there. I'm not a big fan of babies.
I'm not either. They're ugly and they cry and they're annoying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's all
Yes,
they do is
they
cry.
do. Yep. Um. Oh. Uh-oh. I should have probably informed my parents that we were recording. I get the want or the reason to have babies, but you know,
Yeah.
after after they're born, eh,
They're
you know,
useless. I mean, what
uh,
what what can you do with them? Like basically you have to teach a baby to do everything. It can't,
yeah,
it's not potty trained for the first 2 years of its life. It can't talk to you. It provides no value other than sucking up your time. Now, at the same time, at some point,
speaking,
it becomes a teenager like you or me and
yeah.
can be cooler. But still.
Speaking of bugs
Uh
and
huh.
sucking, right?
Okay.
Um, there was one time a it was green. It was a tick probably.
Okay.
I was outside, and the funniest thing, You want it? I got inside. My nipple hurted, right?
Okay.
Hurt. And I was like, why is it hurting? So I went to look at it, and there was a tick
Oh,
sucking on my nipple.
seriously?
Yes, this when I was like 6 too.
Oh man.
It was worst time of my life.
I will say, so I do like most bugs, not spiders. But the one kind of bug that I absolutely hate, and not even bug, just anything,
Yeah.
parasites, freak
Oh.
everything out of me.
Yeah, parasites, like you talking about like ringworms and
Yeah, or leeches. Leeches are the worst for me. Oh my god,
I
I hate
hate
leeches.
leeches.
I've never seen one.
That's
I've
why I
had
never
one.
go in like. That's why I never go in like river water
Yeah,
or
yeah.
lake water
Ugh, I hate leeches.
because I just know that there's gonna be leeches.
I remember at my old school, our old school was kind of weird. Like, so we had we would go on nature walks during like the first 2 hours of the day, called something main lesson. So every once in a while, like maybe every month, we'd go on a nature walk. And one time, like there was this big puddle, and like half my friends were going in it, because that's kind of the school we were. I was so scared that if I went in the puddle, there was gonna be like leeches all over my legs afterwards. Ugh.
Yeah.
So I went in. Luckily, we were fine. But I was so scared of leeches. I don't like parasites. And again, I think part of that is because I read that one book called Sharks and Other Creatures of the Deep, which had like a whole page on leeches, and no.
Thinking of bugs.
Yeah.
Hate them.
I hate them too. Not all. Bees are cool. Bees are useful. Bees
Yeah.
make honey. Actually, I think my mom is actually like starting to get bees. We have like with bee boxes and things like that now, which is actually really exciting. Because I've heard honey is really good.
I hate insects, but the ones that are useful
Mm-hmm.
and they leave me alone,
Okay.
I don't have a problem with.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you got. Okay, I don't know why we were tortured with the idea of wasps.
Yeah.
They don't contribute anything.
Some wasps pollinate.
I don't care. I don't. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
they're not useful.
They really are.
They're not useful at all. They're only here to sting and harm people.
And to eat
They're
your food.
stupid. And they eat your food.
Yep.
Same with flies.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to offer?
Food for birds.
Whatever.
My main thing. But you could just design a different insect, or make a different insect that is food for birds.
Yeah, that will just leave us alone.
Yeah.
You know?
I like grubs. Like, even though they're gross, all they do is just stay in the dirt and do their own thing. Like,
Yeah,
if
true.
you don't want to see a grub, you will never see a grub.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of bug talk.
Definitely was.
Let's talk about sharks.
Yeah, that's right. So, another thing that crossed my desk this week is just a really interesting finding from a skeleton.
Yep.
So this skeleton was found in a cemetery in like the 1910 or 1920. So about 100 years ago, they found this skeleton in a cemetery. And a lot of scientists like to go over old projects. They go, they reopen it to see if they can figure out anything new with new technology or just new ideas or things like that. So a lot of times they'll look at old bones. So recently some researchers started looking at this skeleton that they had found in that cemetery a long time ago. I think this was in Japan. So they looked at the bones and they realized that this guy had all these really deep cuts in all the bones, and like they counted it in total, and there was 790, so almost 800 marks on these dude's bones.
Yeah.
They came up with two hypotheses. One, he got stabbed about 800 times, which is
That doesn't make sense.
unlikely. And the other most likely story is that he was attacked by multiple sharks.
Hmm?
He was attacked by multiple sharks.
What the?
Yeah. So he was also missing his left hand, which is a little morbid. The way this guy died is kind of morbid. So he's about 3,000 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is a really old skeleton. They found him in Japan. So what they think happened is that this guy was out on a fishing boat. Maybe they were fishing, they were diving for shellfish. Actually, in the old world like that, actually people used to hunt for sharks for their teeth and their skin and things like that. So it's possible that they were even hunting for sharks, and maybe he like fell
Irony.
overboard or he was swimming.
The irony. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Hunting for sharks and then this happens to you.
Yep.
Boy.
So the scientists they were looking at this guy, and they were thinking, this is likely a shark attack. All the evidence points to this being a shark attack, but even though there's no conclusive evidence, they're reasonably they're suspicious, and they suspect that it was multiple sharks and not just one, and big sharks too, not
Oh
tiny
yeah.
ones.
I mean, you got 800
Yeah.
800 bite marks. That's kind of a sign that it couldn't have just been one shark.
Yep. And the part where it gets really morbid is they suspect he was alive for most of the wounds, and he was probably trying to like fight them, and then that's maybe how he lost his hand.
Yeah.
So it's not like a cool necessarily to think of how this dude died, but to me it's really fascinating because like when you look at a bone, and just a couple of cuts on the bone give you this like picture of some dude who lived 3,000 years ago in Japan, and it's just super cool to me that we can get a glimpse of this dude's life. Maybe he was sailing with some other dudes and they brought him back, once the sharks had gone away. Who knows?
Think about people were fishing back then.
Yeah, 3,000 years ago. That's crazy.
1000 BC.
Yeah, and we can just get a glimpse into someone's life like that
Mm-hmm.
from just some old bones.
I think sometime in the near future, there's going to be some type of technology that's going to, put the body or put the bones in some type of machine that will, it's like a computer
Okay.
that will just automatically detect how the person died, what the bone or what the marks were for.
Oh yeah.
Just like, how in this, scientists had to, probably research
Yeah.
how deep these cuts were, all that. Imagine just having a computer just doing that all for you in the matter of seconds.
I bet you we're almost there with AI. I mean, AI can do a lot of things better than people can at this point, so I'll just give it another 50 years if it keeps improving at the rate it's at right now. And I think you just put it in, take a bunch of pictures, and then the AI will give you all the possibilities and like percentages of what. That'd be
Oh, yeah.
interesting, yeah.
Hmm.
And I guess the scientists suppose that there's some other death causes that they haven't thought about that are possible, but to them that this is the most likely, and all the evidence points to this being the case.
Hmm.
So
I think it was sharks.
I think so too. It's to me it's weird that like even 3,000 years ago there was still sharks and people were probably scared of them just like us today, and that's cool to me. Makes you realize that people are the same throughout history.
So, if you want to go into the next topic.
I mean, sure, yeah. Well, how far are we into the episode right now? We're about 23 minutes in.
Ooh.
So yeah, let's go in.
Okay. This will take a lot of time.
Yeah.
So-
Here, do I mean I can bring you in. So I had a little thing to say. So enough of the lame old news. That's boring. No one wants to hear about that. Wayne, I think you came up with a great segment that I'm sure people are gonna like. So take it away.
Okay, so I was thinking about we do this almost for every podcast, like a more personal topic, because we really don't talk about like ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
We talk about interesting stuff, but we don't really talk about, ourselves
Exactly.
and our lives. And so I was thinking maybe every episode we have a segment that's dedicated to, like us.
Yeah, I like that.
Like obviously we have the life update,
Uh huh.
but that's just like a little glimpse of
Yeah.
what's happening. Like this topic would be like you get to know more about us.
I think so. That's a great idea. Yeah.
And um as we were looking for segments to talk about in the podcast, I had a great idea. Um Nick titled it as Golden. And the topic is foods that bring back memories.
Yep.
I basically said, what are some foods that like whenever you eat it, it brings back good memories? And Nick has his three. I think I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah. Well, why don't we alternate? I'll go. I'll take the first one, then you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that
So
makes. Yeah.
yeah, basically we both have our three. We have three.
Yep. So.
You go.
Alrighty.
It's your first one, Nick.
So I was thinking, what foods bring back just memories in general.
Yeah.
I've always been like really really picky.
Yeah, me too.
So I've never liked. I didn't eat meat because I
Were
thought
you
it
the-
was disgusting for.
Were you the kid that orders chicken tenders and fries at every restaurant?
I ordered nothing at every restaurant. I literally did. I didn't eat meat. I didn't eat fries. I didn't eat.
What?
I ate white
Who
bread.
doesn't eat fries?
I'm serious. I ate white bread and pasta for the first 8 years of my life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm serious. I was literally the pickiest eater.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit better now, but I remember like when I was little, my dad wanted me to like try more things, so had me start helping out in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was really fun, so I actually tried some of the things we made, and the first thing we made that one night is tomato sauce, and we made it like with tomatoes from our garden and things like that. So just your average pasta sauce. But that was the first time I tried anything on my pasta, and I actually liked it.
Oh, don't tell me you ate raw, no sauce pasta, dude.
Yeah.
No.
I was literally the pickiest eater. I'm serious.
There's no way. Just wet, soggy noodle?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. That's gross.
It is gross.
That is gross.
It is gross. I know. But I was so picky when I was little. And I would just eat white bread and pasta
I
like
was
that.
picky, man. I'm sorry, but that's
I know.
a whole new level of picky, man.
And even still, it's like I have like some foods that I eat, but oh my god, I'm still really picky. But I'm a lot better than I used to be.
Yeah, me too.
So I didn't eat any meat, but I remember the tomato sauce was like the first meal that I actually tried, and I was willing to try, and I actually liked it. So from there, that kind of like made me try more and more things, and that's kind of the food that started.
It all.
Yeah, me being less picky. So every time I eat that, I think kind of that.
That feeling
it's
of
a nostalgic.
maybe I should try new things.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good
not
thing.
Everything's bad. Yeah.
Okay, so
What about you?
I don't know which one I should say first.
Just pick one.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna do. Everybody in my family has one dish that my mom makes that is their favorite.
Okay.
And my brother and my mom, or my brother and my mom, my brother and my dad, their thing is pasty.
Pasty?
Pasty. It's hard to explain, but it's like a bunch of vegetables and meat, and
Yeah.
she makes it in a pan, and so it's like encrusted
Okay.
with crushed, and it's almost like a big cake, but just vegetables and meat.
Okay.
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't like it.
Okay.
It's not that good. But my favorite that my mom makes all the time is chicken and rice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's white rice.
Yeah.
It's really simple, to be honest with you. It's white rice with gravy and chicken,
Okay.
like mixed together,
Yeah.
and you put rice into it, and then you mix it all up, and chicken and rice. It's really good, and I know that brings back just mom cooking.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love their mom's cooking?
Exactly. Well, I don't because my mom can't cook. But no, I
Oh,
know what
well,
you mean. I
okay.
know what you mean.
Yeah. Family meals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
I was gonna say, I think if you learn how to make that, chicken and rice are really really cheap.
Yeah.
Which means that is like a meal you should be able to eat for, like when you move out and you're by yourself. If you're not
Oh no,
cooking.
it's really easy to make. All you need is
Yeah.
it's chicken gravy. We get like a rotisserie chicken,
Okay. Yeah.
and we cut it up into like almost into
Yeah.
like squares, and then we get white rice. We boil the rice. Well, not boil, but
You make the rice.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
we
what you
make the
mean.
rice. We boil the chicken. All that good stuff, and that's my first thing. First
Sweet.
food that brings back a lot of memories.
Yep.
What about your second one?
I would say my second one that brings back memories, um, breadsticks, and
Mhm.
we used to go to the store like when I was
Yeah.
really little, and we'd always get these sticks. I don't know how to explain it. It's like imagine a cracker,
Yeah.
um, in like a really long thin stick, like a rod, and they came in like this package.
It's like a pretzel rod almost, but
Yeah, kind of like a. Let me look up what that is. A pretzel rod, because I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know what a
Yep.
pretzel
Very
rod
much
is?
like a pretzel rod. Yeah. But more bready. Um.
Oh.
So and thinner and like hard. So I love those, and we'd always get those, and they had like salt on the outside, so it was very much like a pretzel rod. They'd come in the package, and I don't know why, but that's just something that if I eat that, now I always have that memory. And then at some point I learned how to like break them off and chuck the little pieces up really high and catch them in my mouth. So I do that now if I ever eat them, but every time I always remember like asking for them when we went to the grocery store. Mom, can we get breadsticks? Mom, can we get breadsticks?
Yeah. That's how I feel of every time we used to go to the store, I'd always want chicken and rice, and so, I'd get the stuff for chicken and rice and just put it in the mom's shopping cart.
Okay, that's
She's
actually
like,
funny.
"Why is this stuff in here? We're having pork chop." It's like, "Well, chicken and rice," and she'd make me put them back. It's like, yeah.
My brother does that with fruits. He's
Ooh,
like,
yeah. I do that sometimes. I still do it, obviously,
yeah.
but I don't put whole meals in there like I used to.
That's so funny to me that you'd go and like get everything that you knew exactly what it was and you got it.
Yeah.
That's funny to me.
Like, to be honest, I could just make it. I know how to make chicken and rice.
Sweet. That's actually really good then, because that means you'll be able to make that for yourself later.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Obviously, I know how to use a
Stove.
microwave and an oven and a stove.
Nice.
I want to get more into cooking.
Dude, me too. I was gonna say my dad does a lot of cooking. Like he was a chef in France before he moved here, so he knows like how to cook really well. I'm so glad I have my dad like there, and he cooks exceptionally well to learn from. Because I'm so picky, that means I can learn how to cook well. So I don't need to. So I can be the one cooking if I when I'm older.
Mhm.
Because I don't know how well I could eat other people's meals.
Ooh. I was gonna say, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
But I was gonna say for my third one. I was having trouble picking,
Okay.
and I don't know why, but the whole chef talk, all that made me. I know what I'm gonna put for my third one.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, but my second one,
Yeah.
second food, is along the whole topic of breadsticks. Okay, have you ever gone to like a Texas Roadhouse or like a Logan's?
I wish I could
Or
say
I
yes.
know you're from Cali, but
Yeah.
think of like an almost like an Outback Steakhouse.
Okay.
Um, just like a peanut shell on the floor type restaurant.
All right. All right.
Um, they're yeast rolls.
Yeast
I don't know
rolls.
why, but the big old fluffy rolls.
Okay.
I love those things. And that, like, when I was little,
Uh huh.
I have a love for rolls, like any type of rolls.
Okay.
And it all started with going to one of those restaurants and getting a roll, and I'm like, oh my god, this tastes so good. I love bread. I
I
love
love
bread
bread
so
too.
much.
Okay, I don't
And
know
just
why, but when you
yeah,
said that, that reminded me of this restaurant. I don't think it's a chain. It might be a chain. I don't think you guys have it here. It's called the Old Spaghetti Factory, and it was in California.
yeah,
Um,
no, you haven't heard of it.
yeah, but they had the spaghetti was okay. It wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but the bread they had, they like
Ooh.
served this.
Italian restaurants
Yeah,
just always have the right bread.
yep. They served like it's like a small loaf. They bring like a cutting board and a knife, so it's like warm. You cut it. It was some of the best bread I've ever had.
Ooh, 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 ooh. That reminded me. You
Hmm.
thought you heard, or when you said they bring out the bread to you,
Uh huh.
then remind me of this place that my parents love this place.
Okay.
It's in Missouri, and it's called Lambert's Cafe. And the funny thing is that they every like couple like 10, 15 minutes or so, they get a big old like batch of these really huge rolls, and
Oh really?
they throw them at you
What?
like across the whole like dining hall, just throwing,
Oh,
and it is so fun.
are you supposed to catch it?
Yes,
What happens if
and
you
you're
don't catch it?
well, you know, too bad.
Does it just
They
like
are
it falls on the ground and you're supposed
yep.
to eat it?
I don't think you're supposed to eat it, but the people that throw the rolls are pretty good.
Oh,
They
okay,
don't.
okay.
I
Yeah.
don't think they would hit the ground, but they are piping hot.
Oh man, so
So
it's
if you
like
try to
this.
catch one, you gotta catch it and put it down.
Oh
Like
man.
one time, I caught one, and I like when I caught it, my fingers like went in to the roll,
Oh.
and so I put my fingers so far in when I caught it that it was, I felt my hand burning.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
man.
so, but I'm telling you,
Hmm.
give it like a couple minutes to cool off. Those things are amazing.
Oh, I'm sure. That actually sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's called Lambert's Cafe. So if you're ever, I think it's in Sykes, or
Okay.
let me look up where it's at. Lambert.
For me the question is like the chefs throwing them.
Oh yeah.
How heat resistant are their hands?
I mean, hey, they work in a kitchen.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If your parent cooking, they can touch the oven in their hand. They've been doing it for so long. They're used to it being that hot.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's in Sykeston, Missouri.
Okay. If I'm ever there, I'll stop by.
Yep, it's really good. Yep, it's called the folksy local chain with classic Southern American fare and, in quotation, throw rolls. It's really good.
Throw rolls. Okay, yeah, that actually makes sense.
Um, Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place.
That sounds
I'll
actually
send you
fun.
a picture of one of the rolls.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't
they're
know why, but I'm
really good.
imagining dough when you said your hand went into the roll.
Oh yeah, I mean it feels. I mean it is piping hot. It was really hot.
Okay.
Um, while I look for one, I'm gonna let you do your final one.
Yeah, that
Your
works.
final. Yeah.
So, I think when was it? 2014 was when the 2014 World Cup was a thing.
Yep.
And
Didn't Germany win?
yep, I think Germany won, yes.
I remember Germany for some reason.
And this is right around the time that I was, starting to eat a lot more foods. I was 10 years old, so I was trying a whole bunch of new things, and I like to help my dad cook. So my dad was inspired by one of the soccer games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was rooting for Brazil in the 2014 World Cup, just
Yeah.
because it was the first team I ever saw. It was
Yeah, I think we all rooted for Brazil.
Yeah.
I think I was rooting for Brazil as well.
But so I remember, like, I watched probably 80% of the games in the 2014 World Cup.
Oh, jeez. I had a shirt.
Yeah,
I
I
had a
had
t-shirt that
a
I wore
Brazil
all the
shirt
time.
too. I wish I still had my Brazil shirt. I don't know where it is now. We probably lost it, or we gave it away because it didn't fit. I don't know. But I was going for Brazil. I could tell you. I used to be able to tell you every single team member on the team. You know, I was so invested in that. And then Brazil lost to Germany 7-1.
Oh, that's why I remember it. It was because the whole final was so
Yeah.
one-sided. Yeah, I remember exactly where I was.
Yep.
In that moment, I was in a Go USA.
Oh, really?
Yep, I was in Go USA. We had just got done go-karting, and I remember looking at the TV, and it had the World Cup on, and somebody was wearing a Germany shirt and was cheering. I was like, why are they cheering? I look up and I see the score. It's like 7-1. I'm like, oh my god.
I was
You
so
know?
sad then because I had been going for Brazil
Yeah.
since the Croatia game, which was like towards the very, 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 very beginning of the entire championship.
Yeah.
So my dad was inspired by that game, the 7-1 score at the end, to make a steak with 7 ingredients. You know, 7 like salt, pepper, habanero. I don't remember them all, but there were 7 ingredients and 1 steak. So he'd make like the marinade. He'd put the steak in that marinade. It was super simple, but he used a lot of peppers like habaneros and stuff, which are some really, really spicy peppers. That steak, after you sit it, you let it marinate for a night, you grill it on the barbecue, and it's so good. It is probably one of my favorite meals to date.
Sounds really interesting. 7-1.
Yeah, so you marinate it in, I would say habanero, garlic, pepper, salt, paprika. I don't remember the entire ingredient list. I think there's parsley, or I don't remember if it's parsley or cilantro, whichever one is which. But it's one of them, and it's so good. It is probably my favorite way to ever eat a steak. It's like the flank steak. It's Brazilian flank steak, so I think, or maybe I'm thinking Brazilian just because I don't know. But whatever it is, we call it the 7-1 here, and that's because it was inspired off that game. And every time I think of that game.
That's a interesting. Wow, that's a very interesting way
to name food. Yeah.
Yeah. 7-1.
What about you? What's your third and final?
Okay, so I was debating, and I finally came up with it because you were talking about chefs, and I remember, the woman that my sister-in-law, the woman that is married to my brother now, her family owned a Sicilian. They're all from Sicily.
Oh, really? Okay.
They actually moved from New York to, I think it was like Franklin, like Nashville area, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure it was like a month before 9/11.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, really, really good timing. To move. But, they had a restaurant called their last name, Savarina's.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, I remember going over there all the time. Just, going on the other side of town, like taking 30, 45 minutes to get there. And I always had this pizza.
Okay, I was going to say, what kind of restaurant were they?
Oh, they're Italian. Italian
Okay,
food.
cool.
Sicilian.
Yep.
And they had this pizza, and the thing is that it was almost thin crust.
Okay.
But the pizza, there was like no crust to it. It was almost all it was almost to the edge pizza, right?
Oh,
And
so
it
so the
was,
crust was on the bottom, just not around the edge.
well, technically there was some crust on the edge,
Okay, but very little.
but very little, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh, man, I I don't that restaurant brings back so many memories. And when I think about that pizza, I think of all the times I was there at the restaurant. And the thing about it that was really cool is on the side of it they had a bocce ball, or I don't know. I think it's bocce. I don't think. Mm, I think it's bocce ball.
Wait, what's bocce ball?
To be honest with you, I don't think we ever really played.
Okay.
I gotta. I don't remember what it was, but it was a game. It was like clay almost, like a rock. It was like bowling, right?
All right.
But with rocks.
What?
Like it was real. It was okay. I gotta find a picture of it.
Yeah.
And the place was actually visited. You know the Guy Fieri's diners, drive-ins, and
And dives. Yeah. Or
yeah,
yeah.
their restaurant was actually featured on the show.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
And it was a really good restaurant. But they closed down a couple
Oh,
years ago.
that sucks.
My dad, every single time they got it, every single time they went there, my dad always asked for cannolis.
Cannolis, yeah.
He loved their cannolis. But yeah, I think of that pizza. That brings back so many good memories about that restaurant.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of cool that you have some really interesting restaurants, which is really cool to me.
We go to different restaurants all the time whenever we're on the road.
I was gonna say it's weird because I think my dad has always cooked a lot more because he
Hmm.
was a chef. So we rarely went to restaurants because generally his food is kind of better than a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to hear about some of the actual like dine-in experiences from some restaurants that we didn't go to when I was little.
Um, Speaking about Italian restaurants,
Uh huh.
um, back up in Wisconsin,
Okay.
there, have you? I don't know if there's any correlation with it, but have you ever gone to the store and see those like Mike and Angelo's, like Italian TV dinners,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
like the baked ziti and the lasagna and all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a restaurant that is by the name of Mike and Angelo's that's in Racine,
All right.
where everybody grew up. And we went there one time, and oh my god, it was so good. And the reason why we went there is because it is like not even 5 minutes away from one of my dad's childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to say his name,
You don't have to. Don't worry about it.
but he has a really cool name.
Oh really?
His last name's Epler.
Epler. Whoa.
Epler. Yeah,
That's awesome.
really cool last name. But yeah, that's the reason why we went there.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Oh, can we cut that out?
Yeah. Sure. Don't worry about it.
Every single time I think of it, I always have to think of his whole name.
Yep.
No. It was my dad's childhood best friend, and his name was Steph.
My dad's name is Steph.
That's so cool. But yeah, they were best friends from kindergarten.
Oh
And
man.
thinking about that now that they're both almost 60,
Yeah.
that is a long time.
That is.
But yeah, just up the road.
That's really cool.
But yeah. So we both listed our three foods that bring back memories.
So wait, Cincinnati is in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
near. It's like it's at the very bottom of Cincinnati, like Kentucky border, almost.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was in Ohio or Wisconsin.
No, Cincinnati's in Ohio.
But yeah, okay. So you said you're going to Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I went there almost a month ago.
And you're going again.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
I like Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Except for the traffic. Traffic's bad.
I'm sure. Well, I think, is that it for this episode?
I think so.
All
What
right.
time you got?
We are at 53 minutes, but there was some that we're going to have to edit out with the train and, a couple things. So it's probably going to be around 48 minutes when I'm done with the editing. So, we'll see. I don't know. If you guys like the episode, go ahead and, so if you're watching this on YouTube, go to Spotify, re-listen to the whole entire episode. If you're listening to it on Spotify, go to YouTube, drop a like, drop a subscribe, and re-listen to the entire thing. Just, it's the best thing to do. With that, I think that's all we have for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, and bye-bye. See you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.